Oh my God. Oh my God.
On the morning of July 4th, 2025, Central Texas woke up to horror. Instead of fireworks, it was floodwaters that thundered through the night, destroying homes, tearing apart lives, and changing the region forever. In just a few short hours, a violent flash flood claimed at least 135 lives across Kerr and Kendall Counties. Families were separated, children vanished in the darkness. Entire neighborhoods disappeared under the force of the Guadalupe River. This is the story of one of the deadliest floods in modern Texas history, the haunting questions that remain.
They are evacuating us due to flooding, and I would say that that's important right now. That river is not supposed to be there.
Anyway, that's the Guadalupe River. It's way high. My house is flooded.
It started like so many other Texas storms with heavy clouds and distant thunder. But by midnight on July 4th, over 12 inches of rain had fallen across the hill country in just a few hours. The ground, already soaked, couldn't absorb another drop. At around 1 a.m., the Guadalupe River began to rise. By 1:30, it had surged over 26 feet, a record-breaking rise that happened in less than 60 minutes. Meteorologists issued emergency warnings. Hydrologists called it a 100-year flood event, but for those living along the river's edge, there was no time to analyze. The water was already at their doorsteps.
Oh. Oh.
Just outside the town of Hunt, nestled in a quiet bend of the Guadalupe River, lies Camp Mystica Christian Summer Camp for Girls. At the time of the flood, nearly 750 girls, some as young as 7, were staying there, enjoying what was supposed to be a joyful summer retreat. The cabins, some more than a century old, stood barely a few dozen yards from the riverbank. Though past flood maps had warned of the danger, many structures had been exempted from zoning restrictions. At 1:14 a.m., the camp director received a National Weather Service alert, life-threatening flash flooding expected, yet evacuation didn't begin until well after 2 a.m., by which time the river was already breaching the cabins. At least 27 people at Camp Mystic died that night, many of them children. Among the victims was camp director Dick Eastland, who perished trying to rescue others.
Anyway, that's the Guadalupe River. It's way high. My house is flooded.
How could this have happened? That's the question echoing across Texas. Kerr County had no working flood siren system. Local authorities had known about the vulnerability for years, but funding and follow-through never came. Even after receiving the alert, camp staff delayed action. According to some reports, campers were not allowed to use their phones even as water began entering their cabins. Parents, many living hours away, had no idea their daughters were in danger. In those critical early moments, communication broke down. And in a disaster where every second counts, that delay proved fatal. The destruction extended far beyond the campgrounds. Entire neighborhoods in Kerrville, Centerpoint, and Comfort were submerged, roads crumbled, bridges collapsed. Water systems failed, power grids went dark, farmers lost entire herds, small businesses were gutted. The Texas Department of Emergency Management estimated economic losses above $120 million, and the number continues to rise. Emergency responders worked around the clock, rescuing survivors from rooftops, pulling people from the river, and searching for the missing using sonar and search dogs. But numbers alone can't tell the story. They don't show the fear in a child's eyes as water rushes through her cabin, or the anguish of a parent who couldn't reach their daughter in time. They don't reflect the pain of survivors who saw friends swept away, or the grief etched into the faces of rescuers who pulled lifeless bodies from the mud. Over 100 funerals have been held in just 2 weeks. Some families are still waiting for closure. 3 people remain unaccounted for. And across Texas, communities have rallied in mourning, lighting candles, holding prayer circles, and vowing to never forget. And yet, even amid the devastation, there is hope. Across the region, neighbors are stepping up, churches have opened their doors. Volunteers from all over the state have come to help clean, cook, and comfort. In places where homes once stood, the sounds of hammers and chainsaws now ring out. It will take time, it will take money, and it will take heart. But the people of Central Texas are determined to rise again.